What's good, GATV? What's good, family? What's good? So I try to avoid this topic as much as I can. I don't really want to talk about this guy too much, but I just had to, following his latest news. Another cry for attention that I call it. Colin Kaepernick does it again. The rushed coronation of the new Malcolm X was such a farce to anyone who deems themselves intelligent. I mean, this brother, man, I don't want to say too much without giving you an insight into what I'm talking about. So let's go into the article that shows this latest state of affairs. I call this brother the Tariq Nasheed of sports. I mean, for real. So in an article that I'm reading here, it says Colin Kaepernick says adoptive mother said his cornrows made him look like a little thug during childhood. Let's go deeper. Colin Kaepernick speaks about some problematic instances in his childhood in a new interview, including his adoptive mother saying his cornrows made him look like a little thug. CNN reports that while talking with CBS reporter Adriana Diaz for a Thursday interview, the former NFL player said that his adoptive white parents perpetrated racism within the home. Forget the fact that they adopted this brother, right? All right, let's continue. He said, "I know my parents loved me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through." The post Colin Kaepernick says adoptive mother said his cornrow made him look like a little thug during childhood appeared first on Blavility. I can't even pronounce that, y'all, so y'all gotta work with me. But he says, "I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your home and how you move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated," he said. Some of those moments including his mother thinking he looked not professional and like a little thug when he had cornrows as a child. Now let's pause real quick. Many of us, and I do mean many of us, our folks, and I'm talking about black folks, did not want us having, hair that looked a certain way, where there was dreads, cornrows, whatever, because you can call it, ignorance, stereotypes, catering to stereotypes, whatever, but it was more about, fearing what could happen to us in the sense of being perpetrated as quote unquote thug. So you can look at it as them looking down on you, or the proper lens of them maybe being overprotective of you and, letting their emotions take the best of them, not looking at it with more broader lens. But this guy, Tariq Nasheed Kaepernick, he has since ever becoming the Malcolm X you guys crowned him to be. He has to dig in as far as he can in his own closet to show how much of a victim he is. It's to the point I wonder if you guys notice this is more about Colin and not the so-called aim that he says of giving light to what goes on in the black community. I mean, really, dude, a thug? He said it's moment like those become spaces where it's like, how do I navigate this situation now? But it's also has informed why I have my hair long today. Yeah, all right, whatever, Colin. This isn't the first time Kaepernick has called out his family's racism. He told the story of his mother's reaction to his hair in the 2021 Netflix series. Now, I'm not gonna continue on and on with this. I'm sorry, I can't, folks. I'm really trying to be understanding, but I've always felt, especially since this brother came to the public light for his activism and not his football skills, which by the way led him to being benched, and then he decided to start kneeing and making it more of an issue about police shootings. I have never felt this brother was truly genuine, and I would like to play something for y'all. Give me 1 second. So check me out, guys. I'm about to play a video on Twitter of Real Bryson's Gray, comments towards this recent expose by Colin. And it's embarrassing, so I loved hearing this brother who a lot of people don't like him because, you know, he pushes a MAGA theme, but is more to the liking of kind of being elevated far more than just being victims. But he goes in on Colin, and I thought this was something wonderful to listen to, and I just want you guys to hear it out real quick.
Ex-NFL player Colin Kaepernick is now accusing his parents that adopted him of bringing him up in a problematic environment. Now, I'm minded that these are people that took him away from his parents that decided not to take care of him. So he was then adopted by a family, and now he's accusing them of being problematic because they're white. What's one of the examples though, Bryson? I kid you not. He said it was problematic partially because he wanted to get cornrows, and his parents didn't understand what that hairstyle is about. Now, this is what the woke ideology and culture does. It makes people ungrateful and downright disgusting. You need to appreciate the people that decided to take care of you when your birth parents decided not to. I don't care what their race is. So, ex-NFL player.
Beautifully spoken. Beautifully spoken. I mean, the audacity, man. Guys, let me tell you something. Even white folks who want to grow out their hair, their parents do not like it. Unfortunately, in this society, we are likened to a certain standard that is for us males, white males, black males, whatever, to be groomed in a certain way that mirrors what professional America wants from us. Is it right? No, I'm not saying it is. But to liken that to racism from a guy like Colin, I'm sorry, I'm sick of him, man. Yo, the Nashidian is strong in that one, man. I mean, I want to see the comments real quick because I'm telling you, I find this story fascinating. This guy grifts and grifts. Nobody, checks him. He's the same brother, if you guys forgot, when he spearheaded this so-called taking a knee, he did something that was somewhat of a first for the NFL specifically, maybe in the entire sports world. He basically put up a lawsuit, him and Eric Reed, another former teammate of his with the 49ers, they basically put up a lawsuit that accused the NFL of collusion. And I remember thinking, all right, good for you if it's proven to be true. Now, for whatever reason, the brother decided to settle. Now, I'm saying for whatever reason, but I understand. They gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. This is the same guy that took the offer and then just went into mystery, getting signed by Nike, doing all these public events. Mind you, public events that doesn't include being transparent in his activism. Oh, Colin can do this behind the scene. He doesn't have to do this in front of cameras. But dude, that's what propelled you to this status. When you're looking at this, bro, like, it's sick. I'm sorry. This is a man that was benched and then decided to be an activist. But he wasn't doing all that when, he was getting all the love, getting all the sponsorship deals. All of a sudden, his job was on the line, and now he knew he needed another angle to make this bread. I'm sorry, but that's a whole grift that I seen someone like Tariq Nasheed would do. I don't even think Tariq would take, well, never mind. That grifter would take it far as he can. But nonetheless, Colin decided to settle with the NFL rather than making the best symbolic measure you could have was take them boys to court so we can see what they got going on. Because look what happened recently to the Miami Dolphins former coach, Brian Flores. He had strong allegations against the NFL of also colluding to keep black coaches out of being, represented in that sport. Those brothers get 1 to 2 years and then they're out of there if they can't make noise. And I'm just saying, man, I'm for my people, but I'm not crowning nobody king who hasn't put in real work when it comes to being transparent. I feel like this brother's an agent, and I'm not one to throw that word loosely. But can we stop crowning this man king? He's crying about how he grew up when we still got brothers in the system that got no one adopting them, did not grow up with the benefits that you had, Colin. I mean, cut it out. Come on. Now, folks, me personally, I love the criticism from former NFL player and former ESPN analyst Marcellus Wiley. And a couple years ago, he hit it on the nail about this Colin Kaepernick thing. He alluded to Colin Kaepernick being fake woke, running around here with his so-called white Egyptian girlfriend. And, you know, these were some heated things he said that I thought resonated profoundly. And this is what he said. He goes, from day one, I was against him kneeling. I said, get up and get those resources, because where we're from, your kneeling before kickoff has nothing to do with our situation unless you translate that, materialize it, and monetize it. He continued, Jay-Z waited long enough and said, I gotta pass this dude and get this right. Now, those words weren't received well in the black community when Marcellus said it, but I knew what he was saying. Like, who the hell is this brother? To now all of a sudden, because he lost his job, this was before the kneeing, by the way, folks, lost his job, and now all of a sudden he's Tariq Nasheed, Malcolm X, Kaepernick. I mean, come on. We got to do better and stop crowning these Johnny-come-latelys, man. It's annoying. Now, I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan, but when everybody was going against Jay-Z for basically dismissing Colin Kaepernick's knee taking and focused on him receiving that job the NFL gave him of leading the halftime show, I really don't care about sports in the grand scheme of it all in terms of what we go through in America. But I just thought it was comical that here you have a Jay-Z who's representing his community, or lack thereof, and you guys want to equate him accepting a job from the NFL to him dismissing Malcolm X / Kaepernick. I mean, come on, dude. I'm not even the biggest Jay-Z fan, but even I knew, end of the day, Jay-Z could open more doors where more African Americans can get inside of that realm versus cheerleading a Colin Kaepernick, who, yet again, I keep telling you folks, look back at that settlement. Because if you remember, the whole country and a part of the international community was rooting for Colin Kaepernick. Everybody was rooting for him to take the NFL to court. Let's expose what they've been doing for decades. And instead, he took a settlement. I told you guys, this was always about him. Now you want to come and cry about what your white mom and your white dad caused you growing up. Oh, could it have been putting you in school, helping you, and your talent, of course, help you find a way to make it to Nevada University, then on to the NFL? I'm just saying, I'm not against you betting on yourself to make it big. I'm pretty sure your skills had a lot to do with it. But for you to sit here and make me think you went through what a lot of us go through, and even if you did, why are you being championed as a Malcolm X? I am sick of it. All of a sudden, when you decided to be an activist, you're donning the fro. I mean, yo, this is insulting. As somebody that works with youth, and it is my job to help them get foster care, help them get reunification with parents who were deemed once upon a time not suitable to take care of children, trying to fix all this trauma that we have, and to watch a brother get adopted by a family that kept him as theirs. I don't think it was some type of staged event, because they kept you for the majority of your entire life. And for you now to come back, it's like you don't have anything else to attack. So I gotta sell books, I gotta push the needle. So let me go back and talk about my family, because this ain't the first time. Dude, I really don't know who this brother is outside of him, playing sports. And you guys love a beautiful story. Never anything conductive or anything with the meat of it all being administered to help the community. Just a beautiful, story. And that's what's wrong with our people. This is how the Tariq Nasheeds of the world has climbed to the levels that he has, because you guys love feel-good stories. That's why the pastors in the community can swindle you and your pockets to help with the roof fund, the ever famous roof fund. Those of you who go to church knows what I'm talking about. And it's because you guys love the feel good. But once you're out of that world of being fake outrage, you have real problems. You have bills that are due. You have family that need your help, children that are going through things. And the Colin Kaepernicks of the world ain't changing shit for you. I'm sick of this brother coming on this public platforms and just putting himself as a victim. It's insulting to people who could really use a light into their darkness and what they're going through. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I just thought I'll throw this out there and get some type of, opinions from you folks and see how y'all feel about this, because I'm sick of this guy. I ain't never clowned the brother, and I'm telling y'all, clown him instead of crown him, please.